Welcome to Unity Inspired Living. Our community began in 1989 as a small worldwide Unity book study group, and we've continued the momentum as an ever-evolving spiritual community. Each Sunday, you will find dynamic thought leaders delivering inspiring messages and talented musicians sharing sound healing through their melody. Here, we embrace ancient spiritual traditions, universal truths, and emerging wisdom. Let's check out this Sunday message. We're so grateful you've joined us. We're so grateful. Nancy says, "Good morning, beautiful ladies. You sound great." Oh, good. I'm not spotty now. I was spotty a little earlier in our preliminary sound check, but good thing. So if I disappeared, that is why. But everybody here is wonderfully capable of carrying our service through to the end. So my name is Amy Van Ling, and I am joyfully, gratefully, always every Sunday morning here, wonderfully in service to our beloved community, Unity Inspired Living Center. And we welcome you into our spiritual community where we are consciously co-creating a space in consciousness, of present awareness and unconditional love, and allowing all parts of ourselves to awaken and recognize our truth, our nature, our oneness with the divine. So thank you for participating, co-creating this space with us. We are so very grateful. Remember to take an inward breath of the spirit as you enter this space. My favorite definition of inspiration. So thank you for being part of us this morning. Our theme this month has been Orient to Openness. And I was thinking about this other day, how sometimes our human nature is sort of attached to suffering. And I feel like the true path to freedom is this orient to openness, so that we don't remain so attached to anything, circumstances, things, situations that might keep us in suffering. And it does require this openness, right? This open at the top, this willingness to say, I don't know, but I'm willing to know. And I am so grateful to bring us back Savannah Noel, Reverend Savannah, to us this morning. Her talk today is "Did Curiosity Kill the Cat?" And I love that because this just aligns with our theme for the month, Orient to Openness, and staying curious, right? As part of being open, like, okay, well, this didn't turn out the way I thought, and yet I'm going to be open and see where it's leading, because that is really how we remain in the flow. Yes. So welcome in, everybody. Yvette's here. Luminda's here. She says, "Good morning, Amy, Jennifer, Reverend Savannah, Kalyani, and everyone." Yay! Welcome in, beloveds. We're so grateful to be joining together in this space. Just so thankful for you. So we also have and thank you, Savannah, for zooming in with us. And we also have Kalyani Marsh here. She's here to bring us her precious, soul-filled, exquisite sound, healing, and musical magic this morning. And we're so grateful that you're zooming in with us today. And we have our amazing Jennifer, who's bringing us our inspirational reading, which is connected with our theme for the month, and some community announcements, and our prayer of plenitude. And we are all ready to move into a beautiful space this morning. So I invite you to tune in as you're tuning in to the Facebook live stream, but tune within to your center, to your core, and just feel that space of peace and calm. And we thank you for saying yes to this divine appointment and committing your time and energy to being with us and co-creating this state of consciousness in the world. We're grateful. So we're going to open up to our mission statement now. So I invite you to drop into that heart space, if it feels comfortable for you, to take a deep inhale and an exhale, just to be in the present moment, to allow yourself to be present with us this morning. Our mission here at Unity Inspired Living is fostering love and wisdom, inspiring transformation, offering compassionate outreach, and embracing unity. And we're so grateful to be on this mission together. So I am going to hand the screen over to Kalyani now, and she has our opening song, our community song. And remember to sing along. Nobody can hear you. Don't be shy. You're home. So sing along with our community song this morning. Thank you, dear one.
Thank you, Amy. So many blessings to you and your surrounding area. I know you are the peace in the storm. I know that for you. Okay, if you don't. This is, you can sing along. If you want to sing the Aramaic line, you might want to write this down. Ina wa'abi. Ina wa'abi. Had Hanan. That's it. Ina wa'abi. Had Hanan. And this is kind of like, I just realized that I should bring some emergency first aid Aramaic chant, just because this is such a great connector. I and the Father are one is the traditional translation. I and my guidance are one. Um, we are everlasting life in unity. Had Hanan means unity. So it's very uplifting. And so Ina Wa'abi, Had Hanan, Had Hanan. Okay. Ina Wa'abi, Ina Wa'abi. 3 times. Ina Wa'abi. Had Hanan, Had Hanan, Had Hanan, Had Hanan. Ina Wa'abi. Ina Wa'abi. Ina Wa'abi. Had Hanan, Had Hanan, Had Hanan, Had Hanan. So we'll do I and my guidance are one. I and my guidance are one. I and my guidance are one. I and my guidance are one in unity, 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 unity. I and my guidance are one. I and my guidance are one. I and my guidance are one in unity, 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 unity. Ina Wa'abi. Ina Wa'abi. Ina Wa'abi. Had Hanan, Had Hanan, Had Hanan, Had Hanan. We are everlasting life. We are everlasting life. We are everlasting life. We are everlasting life in unity, 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 unity. We are everlasting life. We are everlasting life. We are everlasting life in unity, 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 in unity. All right. Hope that cleared the airwaves a little bit.
I think it definitely did. Thank you,
Okay.
beloved. That was beautiful. Yes,
Thank
yes.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, where are we? I have a lot going on around me. Oh, thank you. There's the home I'm at. They're so great. They're so gracious. They were just leaving to give us space. So I'm going to hand the screen over to Jennifer. It is time for our community announcements and our inspirational reading this morning. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you, Amy, and we're so glad that you're here and that you're safe.
You
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Hello, everyone. So our announcements start with be sure to join us for our community connection from 11:30 to 12:30 because there's no workshop today. However, our community Zoom line that you can access through our website is available for wonderful discussion and lively, inspiring conversations. So you can find the Zoom link on our homepage of our website, which is www.unityinspiredliving.org, and everyone is welcome. So again, that's, in lieu of our workshop, we have a wonderful time for connection available for those who would like to join. Next, if you have an idea for an event for the month of October, monthly meandering, please let Jan or Nancy know so that we can advertise it in the weekly connection and you will have time to organize it. And as always, we are sending a huge, heartfelt thank you to everyone who is continuing to support the Mitchell Van Ling Memorial Fund every month. Please continue to make your donations via check, PayPal, or Zelle no later than 2 days before the end of the month. And next Sunday, a week from today, is our in-person service. So be sure to mark your calendar for that. And we look forward to seeing everybody there. And please remember to bring your recyclables and your food for loaves and fishes. And planning ahead, we will be having a jewelry and book sale on the first Sunday in November. Start looking at your collections so you can put those items you no longer want into circulation. And then at our sale, find some new treasures. And also remember, we encourage you to like and share our Facebook page and our YouTube page every time you visit them. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Unity Inspired Living. It really does make a difference. And thanks for listening to all of that and for being such an integral part of our Unity Inspired community. Thank you. Now we're moving on to our inspirational reading, which is from Daily Word. And the word is freedom. I am awakening to my freedom. The spiritual truth about me is that I am free to think, express, and be my uniquely gifted self. Awakening to and realizing freedom is a part of my soul growth and purpose. It requires dedication to self-awareness and the willingness to release limiting and outgrown beliefs and behaviors. Freedom is like a coin that has two sides. One is being free from limitations, and the other is being free to continually grow into achieving my potential. As I continue to awaken to freedom, I know each step I take is important. My awakening leads me to accept more freedom and integrate its expanding influence. I claim freedom and become increasingly confident in every area of my life. I trust my guidance and I stretch boundaries and go forth unfeathered. And from John 8:32, you will know the truth, and the truth will make you free. Thank you for listening, and go forth and claim your freedom as you open to it.
Ooh, I like that. We're claiming our freedom as we open to it. Thank you, beloved, for all of that. That was a lot. We appreciate you so very much. Um, Gratitude. Okay, we are going back to some more music, which we love. Back to Kalyani. Thank you, my love.
Thank you, Jennifer. I this came to me. Oh, actually, I want to say that that previous chant was a Neil Douglas Klotz chant that I sang. Anyway, um, this is one of mine, and I wrote it a while back when I was kind of recovering from my relationship, and I was walking in nature and singing. There's a stirring deep inside. What do you want to teach me? Because I kind of forgot who I was at that time, and then I realized, oh, that could be a song. I'm gonna work that into a song. So there's a stirring deep inside. What do you want to teach me? There's a stirring deep in my heart. What do you want to teach me? There's a calling from the voice of my soul. What do you want to teach me? I'm listening. I quiet my mind and receive. Reuniting with all the parts of myself. What do you have to teach me? I'm listening to all the parts of myself, all the parts that need loving. And here it is. There's a stirring deep inside. What do you have to teach me? There's a stirring deep inside. What do you have to teach me? I'm listening. Deep inside, I open my heart and mind to receive. I open my heart and mind to receive your blessing. There's a stirring deep in my heart. What do you have to teach me? There's a stirring deep in my heart. What do you have to teach me? I'm listening to my heart. I open my heart and mind to receive. I open my heart and mind to receive your blessing. There's a calling from the voice of my soul. What do you have to teach me? There's a calling from the voice of my soul. What do you have to teach me? I am listening to the voice of my soul. I quiet my heart and mind to receive. I open my heart and mind to receive your blessing. Reuniting with all the parts of myself. What do you have to teach me? Reuniting with all the parts of myself. What do you have to teach me? I am listening to all the parts of myself, all the parts of me that need loving. I bring all the parts of me to receive your blessing. Here is my heart, here is my mind. I surrender. Here is my heart, here is my mind. I surrender. Here is my heart, here is my mind. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. There's a stirring deep inside. What do you have to teach me?
What a perfect song. I mean, surrender is part of opening, yes? Beautiful.
Indeed.
Thank you for
Indeed.
bringing that to us this morning. Yeah, very beautiful indeed. Okay, Jennifer, I'm going to hand the screen over to you for our prayer of plenitude this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Kalyani. That was beautiful. I have a similar prayer that I start my day with. So I surrender. I surrender, open my mind and my heart. And let's just take this time as an opportunity to go a little deeper, tune in on that deeper dive with our breath as we open up to our abundance. We truly are abundant, and we just need to affirm that and claim it. We need to claim it. And so let's just start with that beautiful breath of life, that breath that inspires the spirit to awaken. So inhaling a nice full breath, nice full belly breath. And then as you gently release, allowing yourself to sink just a little deeper and allow a little bit more to open up. In prayer today, we focus on our abundant universe by affirming, I am willing to open my mind and heart to the flow of abundance. I am grateful for renewed life and open to creative ideas that prosper me. Infinite Spirit guides my way to new opportunities that enrich me. I am open and ready to receive an infinite abundance of health, happiness, love, and prosperity now. Each breath I take reminds me that life is ever flowing through me, as me. I release any thoughts or beliefs that are holding me back. This is a new moment, and I am claiming my good. I am expanding in consciousness and embracing a new way of being. I am worthy of all the abundance God has for me. I am a magnet for good, attracting new experiences that prosper me. I trust that I am always guided to my highest good. And with a grateful heart, I rejoice and receive blessings upon blessings. And so it is. Thank you.
Well, thank you, beloved, for bringing us into that space. Divine love flowing, yes. I receive. Okay, Kalyani, back to you for more musical magic.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. I wanted to share a song that was lost for a long time, and it was a really cute song because it's called Make Happy. And I would ask the audience to sing when I say, I'm supposed to do what makes me happy. And then you say, oh, yeah. Okay, that's your part. I go, I'm supposed to do what makes me happy. Oh, yeah. That's your part right there. Okay. And that's all you need to know about that. But I was so happy to find this again. And then because it was just a really nice vibration and childlike vibration song. So I'm supposed to do what makes me happy. Oh, yeah. That was your part. Let's do it again. I'm supposed to do what makes me happy. Oh, yeah. Follow the inner guidance that knows. Take a risk and start creating. Pay attention 'cause you're learning how to play, and it's kind of like a game. Be like a child and just experiment. Be willing to go slow. Focus, seek happy. I'm supposed to do what makes me happy. Oh yeah, follow the inner guidance that goes into a new territory. How does it feel to freely participate with the excitement of a child and the courage to express oneself? Be willing to let go. You're not alone. Let's make happy. Be willing not to know. Oh no, I will let others try to figure it out. I'll be taking it step by step, moment by moment. I won't let the world get me down. I will show you my child, you show me yours. We can jump into the stream. Run, let's see. Okay. Run, sorry. Running and jumping with our hands in the air. Let's make happy. Jump into the unknown. We're not alone. Let's make happy. Running and jumping with our hands in the air. Let's make happy. Running and jumping with our hands in the air. Let's make happy. I'm supposed to do what makes me happy. Oh, yeah. I saw
love
your
it.
mouth moving. Okay.
We were singing. We got the oh yeah
Awesome.
part. Carol
Oh,
says,
yeah. Cool.
Carol says, I often forget to do what makes me happy and sometimes have felt guilty. How crazy is that? Thank you for sharing that. You know,
Oh,
sometimes
that's a fun song. I'm doing this house concert. I have a house concert. Can you wait? You can't see that poster.
no,
No, that
you know what?
there it
The
is.
background sometimes distorts the image. There you go.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Oh, it's
Anyway,
gone
it's
again. Just tell
Jennifer.
us
You gonna
about it.
come to my house concert? Jennifer, I can't hear you.
You're muted, my love.
I can't hear you, but I think I did invite you. But anyone who wants to drive to Grass Valley can come. It's
When
going
is
to
it?
be in a house, a nice house. It'll be a nice intimate setting, and we're going to do these sing along songs and sing to each other. And um, I'm kind of
What's the
excited
date,
that
Precious? What's the
started
date?
people are being magnetized to it, so it's kind of cool. It's October 12th, 4 o'clock.
Okay, great. And
And yeah,
maybe you could send me that
I
flyer.
don't.
Do you have?
I'm just putting it out. I'll send it to you. Sure,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll send it to you.
I could share it.
But Jennifer, you're not coming. Okay, you said
Let's
you
talk.
might.
We'll talk. We'll talk.
Okay. Okay.
Oh,
Thanks,
beloved.
everyone.
Thank you,
Nice
precious
sharing with you
Kalyani and
all.
Jennifer, for your gentle, beautiful presence and your sweet, tender hearts
Thanks,
and
everyone.
bringing enormous love to us this morning. We're so grateful. Thank you for saying yes. Mwah. I love you both.
Thank you for your presence, all.
Mm,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye, love. Hello, wonderful souls. I am here with our amazing, beautiful Reverend Savannah, sharing her loving kindness as always. We're so blessed to have her with us as always when she says the sacred yes to us. I'm going to share a little bit about Savannah for those of you who are just getting to know Savannah a little bit better. Reverend Savannah Noel started her spiritual path at the age of 16 years old. We'd call that a baby now.
We do.
In Denver, Colorado at Mile High Church. Growing up in the New Thought movement, Savannah became the first youth community spiritual leader for what was formerly known as the United Church of Religious Science in 2002 to 2006. Her passion for global outreach took her to Ukraine, where she's taught, led conferences on the Black Sea, and worked with SOM youth and activists over the span of 11 years. She has served on the CSL Visioning Corps, the Spiritually Motivated Social Engagement Committee, the Youth and Family Ministries Corps, Global Services Corps, and the CSL Events Team. An ordained minister with a master's degree in consciousness studies and a bachelor's degree in religious studies, Savannah has been a guest speaker at events all over the United States. And beyond, I'll say, and beyond the United States. She has worked extensively with global outreach, and most notably in Egypt during their Arab Spring Revolution in 2012. Over the last 18 years, she has taught hundreds of students with her signature classes and workshops across the world. You may have seen her face on the cover of the February 2015 edition of the Science of Mind magazine, where her article, The Sacred Amidst the Shadow, was featured. Yay! She loves cooking, being in nature, close friends, and travel. She is based in Seattle, Washington, and we are so grateful for you. Thank you, beloved, for being here with us. I am going to pray us in here, and I'm going to hand the screen over to Savannah, and she's going to take us away to the cat. And did curiosity kill the cat? I'm waiting. I'm interested to hear. So tune in, tune within, deep inhale if that feels right for you. We are so grateful and thankful to answer the call today. It is a call to be here in unity, to join together in this sacred space, to orient ourselves to openness and tune within to the one power and presence, and surrender, knowing that the depth and breadth of our union with the Holy Spirit is enough. We're creating a compassionate, kind, loving, just society as we collectively come together and hold this truth. Holding in our hearts and minds today our fellow humans, anybody that's really facing adversity right now, especially those in the aftermath of the hurricane. I know that there's a lot of devastation and destruction from Florida up to North Carolina mountains, which is very devastated. So we're holding in consciousness that there is a comfort and a peace that is enveloping these people. We celebrate the divinity that we are, and we feel into the deep gratitude, knowing that we are one and we hold space for one another, and we know that we are holy and whole. And we know that by walking in the direction of and staying open to love and peace and joy, the doors will swing wide open for us. And we are so blessed and grateful for the presence and essence of our dear Reverend Savannah. And we are here opening our hearts, staying open at the top for the message that is flowing in through and as Savannah today. And I release this word for the greatness, the goodness, the godness of all, in love, for love, and as love. And so it is, Ashe. Amen. Thank you, beloved. I'm so grateful for you.
Thank you so much. Oh my gosh. Hello, everybody. God, I am always grateful to be with this community. And I would say that we had to be pretty curious this morning in like, how is this going to work? You know, how is our technology going to support us this morning? And I think it's pretty incredible that Amy was able to continue to still make this happen. And we just improvise. And I'm totally going to get to the punchline sooner than later. So I'll start with this, that Albert Einstein said. He said this. He said, "I have no special talents. I am only passionately curious." And I love that, because curiosity is this thing that I know in my own life, but in life in general, has saved many situations and relationships. And so the punchline is, like, did curiosity kill the cat? I don't think so. I think curiosity killed the cat is a great metaphor for us, but you know, cats have 9 lives. And so I think it's quite the opposite. I think curiosity can serve us greatly. And so I want to dive into this topic today with you all, because I think that curiosity can bring forth healing and discourse and transformation. When in all odds we thought that something could not be, curiosity has the power within us. It's the thing actually that has made humans, since the beginning of time, great inventors, thinkers, creators, pioneers. And I think that curiosity and uncertainty are most certainly connected. They are interwoven because our tendency as humans is we want to make meaning, right? We are wired for story. We are wired to tell our full story. We want the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. But however, if we can move out of the habit of going into fears and doubts and limitations and more into the space of curiosity and faith, that is where our power is. I feel like people genuinely feel more comfortable around you when you start to shift this subtle way of looking at the world and how we communicate with other people. So why curiosity? I looked it up. I wanted to know what it means. And the dictionary says that it's eager to know or learn something, and it's also strange or unusual. I think that curiosity requires courage. It requires faith. It means that we have to practice staying curious and true to curiosity, because I think curiosity is the gateway. It is the humbler. It is the gift in our relationships. It keeps us not only humble, but compassionate. It keeps us from falling into the ego traps that we get into the fight, when we dig our heels in and we want to be right. Curiosity gives us a sense of freedom to explore new ideas in a new way, and it most certainly helps us be discerning. I remember years ago, I used to teach in Ukraine, and I was there off and on for about 11 years. And one of the most challenging things that was presented to me, at that time, post-Soviet world, is that I couldn't use certain words in my jargon and my semantics there that were potentially dogmatic, because this philosophy, this new thought philosophy that I was teaching was tricky. There were certain words that were just so loaded, and I think they're loaded, in this country as well, but words like God or church, I couldn't use those terms. They wouldn't land very well. But I also couldn't speak in platitudes or absolutes. So instead, the way that I was able to meet students where they were was that I encouraged them to stay curious. Curiosity was the thing that allowed the doorway, right? It was the gateway. They could open up to critical thinking. And I asked them to get curious about universal laws and to experiment with the power of their thinking, the power of their attention, the power of their thought, and to prove to themselves that this spiritual principle works in your life, or maybe it doesn't work in their lives. So it asked them to look for the evidence to prove that what the story they're telling is true. Our curiosity keeps us nimble. It keeps us better equipped to have the hard conversations that are necessary in life. I think that so much conflict would cease with less reactivity and more curiosity. So here's a phrase that you might want to write this down to start using in your relationships with other people. So when you feel triggered, when you feel defensive, when you feel like you want to react instead of respond, one of the phrases you can use, and I use this in my coaching a lot, is, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. What this phrase does for others is it immediately drops people's defenses. It immediately allows people to feel your openness to hearing what they have to say. But it does require something. It requires that we trust ourselves and that we trust the process of life. Tell me more about that. It means that we have to let go of our need to control the outcome. And we all want control of the outcome, right? It means that we have to let go of our rightness and our self-righteousness. It means we have to take the high road sometimes. It means that instead of immediately forming an opinion about something or someone, we gather more research. Instead of getting defensive, can you get curious? Instead of making your case, can you get curious? Instead of attacking another person, running away from, stonewalling, can you get curious of what this is bringing up inside of you, what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, and maybe what another person is feeling, needing, and experiencing? I mean, you can think about this just even in the current situation and the climate in the US in terms of our politics. Can we get curious? What is it that that makes you believe what you believe? Like, help me understand this. And I think that when we approach life from this space, it's that beginner's mind, it's that humility, that beginner's mind stays present because we're staying vigilant to that childlike nature. We are less reactive and we are more responsive. This literally happened to me this week where I had to potentially have what I knew was not going to be an easy conversation with someone. And I was really worried that I would get defensive. And I knew that the stance that I had, I was very convicted about my opinion and about my belief about something. And I knew that coming into this conversation, if I immediately said what I was thinking, it would probably get me into trouble and it would create defensiveness on the other side, and the conversation would not have gone well. So I really had to prepare my mind and prepare just my nervous system in going into this conversation of, how do I want to approach this? What else might be true? What else is possible in this conversation? And so I thought to myself, I'm going to ask some very important questions to this person to allow them to, again, not go into defensiveness, but go into a place of, I genuinely want to understand, even though I felt that I was right. And so I asked her, I said, can you help me understand how you came to this conclusion? Can you help me understand? I'm really curious to know your thought process on X, even though I did not agree. And what that did is it allowed me to have empathy. It allowed me to have compassion. It allowed me to understand where she was coming from. And then the conversation actually flowed really well. We were able to have lots of clarity just because I didn't come in really hot and really intense out of reactivity. So curiosity is a function of overcoming fear. It is the function of overcoming the fear of being wrong, the fear of being right, the fear of being different. So if you don't have the guts to think about bad ideas, you'll never have the opportunity to execute brilliant ones. This is where we get curious. One of my favorite people in the world, and many of you already know this, is I love Brene Brown and I love her work. And she says that it's not always fear that gets in the way of daring leadership. It's our armor. So when things get hard, things get tough, do we lean into our vulnerability and get curious about what is going on, about what we're feeling? Or do we self-protect in ways that move us away from our values and the things we really want? It's that need to be right, or the knower, I know it all. That is the heavy armor. It is defensive and it's posturing. So I think I have felt like from a lot of my life, and I think it was probably just the maturity of, growing up, I thought that I was the knower of everything, probably since I was in kindergarten, probably since 6 years old. And it would be really great if we could replace knowing with becoming a curious learner. So always remembering that we don't know everything, that we can bring forward that beginner's mind to learn something new. And, some people are driven by their shame and their trauma. And sometimes knowing things can save us in difficult situations. But what if we were to make learning curiosity skills a priority? Like, this could be something we teach in school, right? Some people might always be curious. I was always that. I was always this very, and I still am, this very inquisitive child, asking 1,000 questions, always wanting to understand why things happen the way that they do. I mean, it's probably one of the reasons why I love coaching so much and I feel I'm really good at it, is because of the kinds of questions and the inquisitive nature of my curiosity. And years ago when I was really young, my stepfather always used to say to me, he's like, you're going to be the next Ricky Lake. You need to start your own talk show, Savannah. And it's hilarious because you think about Barbara Walters, you think about Oprah Winfrey. they could not be as effective as they have been in the world and as they were without some curiosity of really putting their own judgments aside and inquiring and becoming curious. So I think many of us, we just need to learn how to become more curious. Brene Brown has this process that I love, and it's called her Rising Strong process. I created an entire class on this body of work years ago, and the process has 3 parts. It's the reckoning, the rumble, and the revolution. And the way that she describes this is that in life, we must be willing to walk into our stories, to walk into the arena of life, as she calls it. So the unknown aspects of our life, the places where we're scared, right? Where we have to activate more courage. So we must walk into the arena of our life. And all of us have experienced what it's like to be vulnerable, to be exposed, to be what she calls face down in the arena moment. It's any moment or place where you have risked showing up and being seen. You have risked being awkward or goofy. It could be a new dance class you're starting. It could be a tough parenting moment. It could be being in love. It could be the feeling of being in a new city, or the strange feeling of being in an exercise class and you don't know what you're doing, or it could be you leading a new team at work. This is part of life of vulnerability, of being in the arena. And it's vital for us because our vulnerability is the thing that helps us deepen. It's the part of our becoming. And if you aren't in the arena, Brene Brown says, getting your hands dirty, owning it, and getting your butt kicked, you might miss the integration that can happen from this revolution. So she calls it the reckoning, which is getting curious about what's happening in your life, getting curious about what you're feeling internally about any given situation and reckoning with that. And then the rumbling is really going through it. It's rumbling with feelings, emotions, where you're being led, where you're being pulled. And then the revolution is actually where the manifestation happens, where you're revolutionizing your story, your thought process, your belief about any given thing. But what that requires, she talks about, is in order for us to see a revolution in our own thinking and our own lives, is we have to get curious. We have to get curious about the stories we're telling about ourselves and to other people, about our emotions that we have that are attached to the stories and the outcomes that we want to have happen. And those stories that are keeping us small, those stories that are keeping us disparaged or separate or alone, those stories that are keeping us in a space of not enoughness. So examples for this of getting curious would be maybe asking for more money at a job or having a major career shift. It could be asking for what you want in a relationship, setting a boundary. These are all arena moments where you're being asked to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is the willingness to show up and being seen with absolutely no guarantee of the outcome. But what Brene talks about is she says, vulnerability, though, by doing that, it is the quickest way to joy and love and connection and belonging. But to get there, what's required is stumbling. We might fall. We might, as I said, get our butts kicked. And curiosity is the way we get there. So when we reckon with something and we dig into that vulnerability, it means that we expand our worldview of thinking maybe in a new way, getting curious about what other things might be possible. Being curious means that we choose vulnerability because it requires that we surrender to uncertainty. But for many of us, being curious or vulnerable may lead us to some hurt. So then we become very, self-protected, and this leads us to shutting down oftentimes. So yes, it absolutely has a price. So to me, I think the very definition of getting curious absolutely goes in line with, it's an act of vulnerability and courage. So we ask ourselves, what is at stake here if I investigate these feelings? What if it's me who's needing to forgive? What if I'm the one who's actually hurting? What if this is actually my responsibility? What am I being asked to own in this situation? And so the rumble is where we have the courage to work through that stuff, through the difficult emotions and the feelings that arise. So many of us have these coping strategies, right? Of stonewalling, pushing away, avoiding, or we hold on really, really tight for dear life. Instead of just rumbling with it and getting curious and staying with whatever it is we're working through, so that we can move into a revolution. The revolution invites us to transform and to let go and to integrate. Because if we could just remember that on the other side of the revolution and on the other side of the rumble is freedom. Because ultimately, I think that's what we all want, right? Is freedom. The freedom to be ourselves, the freedom to choose, the freedom to be in the world. The freedom is what we truly want. Jean-Paul Sartre said, freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. Freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. So we have to resist the temptation to believe in powerlessness. We have to resist the temptation to believe in helplessness when we're working with the rumble, with difficult emotions and feelings, with difficult situations, with difficult people. The temptation is to shut down, stop the pain, go into a victim place, into victim thinking that we are powerless over what's going on. And this is the biggest lie. And what curiosity does for us as, human beings having, spiritual experience or vice versa, it gives us this chance to start again. It gives us this vision for something greater. So we ask ourselves, can I look at this in a new way from a different perspective? Can I dig a little deeper? And it means we can, and you can write this down if you want, we affirm to ourselves, I will not be taken down by my own perceived limitations. I will not be taken down by smallness. I was not meant for smallness. If you want to say it even more positively, I was meant for something greater. I was meant for greatness. I will not be taken down by my own perceived limitations, and I will not fight for those limitations. This stuff goes all the way back to the Four Agreements, and many of you know the Four Agreements, but if you don't, I'll refresh your memory. Don Miguel Ruiz wrote a book years ago, and the Four Agreements are, don't take anything personally, don't make assumptions, always do your best, and be impeccable with your word. And I have a fifth agreement, and I've always included it because I think for me, it's the most important, is stop making shit up. Stop making things up about your unworthiness or your limitation. We are so powerful. And forever and ever, we make up stories, and the brain then rewards us with dopamine when we recognize and, complete patterns. It's what we do as humans, right? I think we make stories up because we want to make things certain. And it's so seductive because it keeps us from being in uncertainty and vulnerability, which would require us to find the truth out about what's really true about us and real within us. It means that we get to discover a deeper pattern of what our patterns are. And so when I engage my curiosity instead of my story making about the worst case scenarios that could happen, and I decide I'm going to get curious about what else might be possible, it allows me to have more empathy and compassion for myself and other people. I think we are so good as humans at conspiracy theories. I mean, look at the news right now. There are conspiracy theories everywhere. And a conspiracy theory is a story that is based on limited real data and imagined data. This is the important part, imagined data, and blended into a coherent, emotionally satisfying version of reality. What is the conspiracy theory that you tell yourself? Making up half-truth stories based on lies and emotionally, it creates a destructive pattern. I mean, it creates destruction in our relationships. The most dangerous stories that we make up are the narratives that diminish our inherent worthiness. And so what it asks of us is to reclaim the truth, to really reclaim the truth about our lovability, about our divinity, about our creativity, about the power that we have over conditions, about the dominion that we take over our thoughts and our mind, and where we choose to place our attention. These conspiracy theories and these stories we tell so often, you'll notice they eventually become part of us. And then we think that they define who we are because storytelling is an integration tool. I would say that it's called unconscious storytelling. And so we get to think about and look at, what are the stories I'm telling myself of my unworthiness? How is this story actually creating the life that I want? So what is your go-to story when you feel hurt or betrayed or disappointed or rejected? I know for me, for years, it was, I'm not cared about, I'm not loved, people don't show up for me, people don't choose me. That is the conspiracy theory, right? So then I go and look for evidence to prove that that's true, but we have to have a new story, a more life-affirming, positive story, so that doesn't continue the cycle and become the evidence proving the limiting beliefs that I hold about myself, right? So in your curiosity, you can ask these questions. And it kind of goes back to what I said earlier. What more do I need to learn and understand about this situation? When you're faced with conflict or a decision you have to make or a hard conversation, what more do I need to learn and understand about this situation? And what do I know objectively? What assumptions am I making? The next piece is, what more do I need to learn and understand about the other people in the story? What is my bias? What more do I need to learn and understand about the other people in this story? And what more do I need to learn and understand about myself? What is underneath my response? I would say this is the biggest piece here. All of this creates compassion and empathy, but really asking yourself, what am I really feeling? What part did I play in this? What can I 100% own? The last piece here that I want you to practice, and this part has more to do with how do we nurture and care for ourselves, especially when we're walking into a difficult situation, conversation, experience. One of the things that I've always leaned on, and this is an exercise that all of you can do, is I want you to, and maybe, if you can't do it right now and you're just tuning in, listening and unable to, but when you can, take a piece of paper and make it just 1 inch all the way around. And I want you to make a list on that piece of paper of all the people that matter. It could be 5 to 10 people. I mean, it is 1 inch by 1 inch. So the people that really matter to you. And these should be the people who love you, not despite your imperfections and your vulnerabilities, but because of them. And I want you to make a list of those people. And when you are walking into that arena, that face down in the arena moment where you're about to have the hard conversation or the decision or whatever it is, the vulnerable moment, these are the people. These are the folks who will pick you up and confirm that the fall totally sucked. The fall was awful, but then remind you that you are brave and that they're going to be there to help dust you off the next time. I call these people like my cheer squad, like my God squad. Who are those people? Have it in your wallet, have it in your purse, have it somewhere close in case that happens. And make curiosity an active practice in your life. Getting curious takes courage, it takes faith, and it absolutely takes a greater vulnerability. But the rewards are far greater when we activate it. So with that, I will take us into a prayer, a blessing. So just taking that holy breath, giving thanks, giving gratitude and thanks and appreciation in this moment for the words that have been spoken, for whatever it was that may have landed in your heart this day, in your mind, your heart, that may have moved you. I give thanks for the power and the presence of life as it is moving and unfolding in such a beautiful way in each one of our lives as we tap into the remembering of who and whose we are. That greater power and presence of love, of divine beauty, of wisdom, of intelligence, It is the greatest power that ever was and ever will be. And it is that love intelligence that lives and breathes in every single one of us as we get to practice the art of curiosity. We get to practice being brave and bold in all of our relationships and connections. And what I know for each and every one of us is that as we continue to lean into our vulnerability, lean into new ways to see our situation and our lives, new perspectives and ideas, as we activate that curiosity and vulnerability, freedom is the thing that expands us. Freedom is on the other side. Grace also carries us forward. And so I know this to be the truth for all of us, that we allow ourselves to be a little bit more courageous today. And we remember that we are held. We remember those people on our list that love us despite our imperfections and vulnerabilities, but because of them. And so with that, I give thanks. I bless this day. I bless all of us tuning in and those watching later. And I know that all is truly well. So together, let us just say, and so it is. Namaste. Ashe.
Thank you, beloved.
Amy's still here.
Wow, that was packed full. But Savannah never disappoints. She always fills us up. Okay, let me get here to our feed. Wow, so much in that. I was taking a few notes here, and as I do. And I love the quote you said, freedom is what you do with what's been done to you. And while sometimes that can be confronting, it's really profound and powerful, and actually empowering. What is going on with my feed? I'm sorry. Here we go. I'm orienting here. I'm orienting to opening to our Facebook feed. Hi, everybody. If you have comments, questions for Savannah, drop them here in the feed for us. Yeah, Carol had a lot of taking notes. Thank you, sweetheart. She said, what more do I need to learn and understand about the situation, the people in the story, about myself? Yeah, these questions are really so vital. Yes. How do we nurture and care for ourselves? List all the people who matter in your life. I love that one too. Yeah, the cheer squad, God squad. I wrote that one down too. That's very, very good. The God squad. I'm going to use that one. Hi, Erica. Erica's here. She said, aho, aho, my love. So beautiful. Michael J says, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Dave is here. He says, thank you so much, Savannah. I appreciate you. Yes, we do. Much love and appreciation.
And
Yeah.
curiosity does not kill the cat, okay?
Yeah, we're making that clear. Curiosity did not kill the cat. Curiosity brought the cat much exploration and
Yeah.
wisdom.
Expansion. Yeah.
Expansion. Yeah. Melinda says, excellent talk, Savannah. Lots of great advice. Yeah, I love that you said, staying in a place of empathy and compassion sort of opens us up to curiosity. And then you said curiosity is a function of overcoming fear. And I just wanted to touch back with that because it's really potent to there isn't a workshop, Karen, not today, but the connection link is open if you want to get on it with anybody else and just sort of debrief the the talk. There was a lot here, yes. Yeah, I think it's helpful to understand how and why we operate in the ways that we do. And I think these questions, staying in curiosity, cultivate the space, open up the space for us to really dive into, okay, so why am I closing off? Why am I feeling so resistant? What is going on here? Just say, like, I love just the shift many years ago. This seemed so such a great concept and so new, and now, because I've been with it so long, I forget sometimes to kind of go back to the basics. But the basics is, like, instead of saying what is wrong or what is wrong with you, it's like, what is going on, right? What is going on with that person? What is going on with me? And it's just like little shift, right? Makes an enormous amount of difference in how we view something, how we process something. And so to really ask, okay, so knowing that curiosity is a function of overcoming fear and just gently being with ourselves. Like, okay, so what is showing up here? What am I fearful of? Being wrong, and you listed a whole bunch of possibilities. Being different. Sometimes being right is our security blanket, right? Because just what if this whole worldview that I've kind of dug my feet in about, and I'm just using that hypothetically as an example, isn't isn't actually so, then what does that mean for my life? Right? Or everything. So I love, Savannah, that you bring this type of exploration, ideas for exploration, because I think it's know thyself is freedom. You talked about freedom today. Kathy
Yeah, and one of
says,
the oh, can you hear me? So one of the things that I was saying about that story of when I had that hard conversation, or what I thought was going to be a hard conversation, is that because I opened up with help me understand where you're coming from. Like, what was your thought process in this? Because I got curious and not defensive, even though I thought I was right. Uh, I was actually able to understand something about this person that I didn't know. And what it really came down to is she was afraid. What it really came down to is she
yeah,
was scared. It was like, I'm scared of
yeah,
X. And um, I was able to go, oh, this is why you're coming across this way. This is why this feels so hard. Um, and so then I could have compassion for it. Didn't mean I agreed with her, but it meant I can have compassion for where she's coming from. Yeah.
such so. I mean, if there's one thing to highlight about this whole conversation, it's that right there, and I think that would change our world. Right there,
Totally.
just saying, I was just somewhere where a therapist was talking about having moving into a different role as a therapist, instead of, something's wrong with you, I'm here to fix you, but instead creating a space to, okay, let me allow you the space. And you talked about this a little bit too today. You the space to kind of explore and figure things out on your own. And she was expressing some vulnerability about how this woman came in to see her, and she had all this judgment, because she had all of these problems and had been breasted and had many children, like 8 or 10, that had all been taken by CPS at different times. So she had all this judgment going on about, this woman, and what would come along with some of those thoughts. And then when she actually opened up, oriented to openness here, and got curious and heard her story, at the end of that, she was like, it's amazing she's even alive,
Yeah.
knowing what she came through and where she's been in life, and it's like, I understand why she operated the way she did. And now she's, seeking something better for her life. But just to be in that compassion, you said that earlier, empathy and compassion can bring you into this space of curiosity, to say, I just wonder what is going on here. And when we view everybody like that, even the angriest, road raging driver, right? Go, what is going on there? Something's going on there. And it's never about the thing. Thank you, A Course in Miracles. It's never about the thing we think it is.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Well, and then
So let's check in with,
go
go
ahead.
ahead and comment. I was just going to check into our feed, but if you had anything to say, feel free. Nancy said, thank you, Savannah. How can I adopt myself, others? Wow, another wonderful talk. So perfect for this time in the world. Thank you, Savannah. Yes, indeed. Michael J says, one of my first spiritual experiences about cats. They're always curious. Carol says, help me understand your process. Very powerful. We can understand other people's perspectives as well as our own by letting go of our stories. Yeah, and having to be right. I mean, what is the saying? Would you like to be right or at peace? Something like, I'm totally,
Well, and
paraphrasing
also,
that.
I think it applies to us too. Like, it obviously applies to others, but what I was sharing about just getting curious about our own stories that we tell about our unworthiness. I mean, that's such a powerful thing, in that I will be the
Yes.
first to fight for my limitations. I will be the first to fight for my victimness and my helplessness. And I remember a coach said to me years ago, like, when are you going to stop fighting for your limitations? What else might be possible? Could you get curious about what other paths might be, or doors or opportunities may be open to you. And I was just so dead set on being the victim. But that also meant that I didn't have to take 100% accountability for what I'm contributing, right?
Mhm.
And so that curiosity, though, I think also just gives us permission to give ourselves grace.
Mhm. Oh
You know,
yeah, so much.
yeah.
So much. I love that too. I remember saying that to somebody around a bonfire once. I say, argue for your limitations. And you know how many people actually don't realize that that's what's going on? You know, I said something general like, it's people that, you're arguing for your limitations, like, oh my gosh, that's enormous just to hear that, right? Like, oh
Yeah.
my, I do that.
Yeah.
That perspective. No, Michael J, no workshop today. However, the link is open and there may be several people who would like to jump on there and just discuss and kind of move around all these ideas that were dropped today. There was a lot here. So feel free to be on the connection link. I am borrowing Wi-Fi and power from somebody, so I won't be in the link today. Thankfully, I found somebody in Greenville that had power, a friend of mine. Gratitude for being able to be here. But please feel free, everybody, to get onto our link. Carol says your whole message can be very powerful. I love Brene Brown and her message of the power of vulnerability and willingness to own our uniqueness. Yeah, vulnerability is so what's the right word here? Necessary for what did you say? It brings us to joy and connection. I don't remember exactly what you said, but
Biggest way to joy, love,
biggest.
belonging and connection. Mhm.
There you go. Yes, that.
But
I,
that's the hardest part for a lot of people, is being vulnerable. I would say for me,
yes.
it's a gift. I have always had the ability to go there. But there's been pros and cons to that too.
Well, yeah, right. Because I mean, that's a whole different conversation, but
Right.
yes,
It
for
is.
sure. Kathy says, thank you for your efforts to make the service happen this morning. Yes, it
Yeah.
happened. Thank you, everybody, for holding space. There are many of you this morning holding space for this. Um, I am safe. Yes, maybe no power and no hot water, but I am definitely safe. There are a lot of people who are in much bigger struggles than me right
You
now.
look
So,
amazing, by the way.
well, thank you. It's boiling. It's like the camping style, boiling the hot water, pouring it into the bathtub. I actually am blessed that I have a gas stove, so I have been igniting it with my lighter. Many people have electric stoves, so they can't cook right now, and so many of us are on going into day 3 of without power, and so there are people that are um, struggling right now. So
Yeah.
we are praying for the teams that are all coming from Ohio and our support that's in Georgia and Florida and surrounding states. They're busy with their states because the surrounding states are quite devastated. So thank you for the prayers. Michael J says, love surrounds us all. Peace, beloved. Yes. And I got your message right when you said the sun is shining. And I said, it is. It's always shining above the clouds, even in the moment when it's like, oh, okay, how can I harmonize with one who feel in love with me but has no curiosity? Do you see
What?
that question, Savannah?
Um,
I'm feeling into it. How can I harmonize with one who feel in love with me but has no curiosity? I don't know if I understand the question
maybe,
completely.
maybe you invite it in. You invite a conversation about curiosity and what it means to this person, and you don't want to manipulate though. Can't make
Well,
someone
there's
else.
a fine line there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think you just have a conversation. It's in your own vulnerability of the ask of, what would it mean to you to get curious? What does curiosity mean to you?
Yeah,
Have a conversation about it.
yeah, I like that. Some people haven't even considered it, so they might really welcome the conversation.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah. Thank you for the question. Well, thank you everybody for being here with us. We're so grateful for your presence, beautiful people. We're going to close with our prayer of divine awakening, and I think it's on my screen. So let me just take a little peek here and see that things are still functioning. Functioning somewhat usual on my computer. Yes, there it is. Yay. So just feel into the prayer and hold the space for your life, for your day. It's a new day, a beautiful day, a new beginning. I embrace this day with new eyes, an open heart, and expansive mind. I choose my vibrational frequency deliberately and consciously, harmonizing with life's events. I am receptive to source energy, divine guidance, and wisdom available to me at all times. I commit to serve unconditional love fully and completely. I move forward in a state of appreciation, an extension of the one magnificent power and presence. I am sovereign, whole, and free, claiming dominion over my life as I go in peace and awaken to my divinity. And so it is.
So it
Shine
is.
on, bright beings of love. Remember, the service next week is in person. We will post that information on the website. I love you all dearly. Blessings. Thank you, Savannah. We are so grateful for you. We love you. We bless you. Shine on, bright, precious souls. We'll see you soon.
Bye.